Did you know that cockroaches can eat just about anything to survive? Fermented fruit, old paper, even rotting food. Now, imagine this. What if a human tried to live on that diet for 7 days? Sounds crazy, right? But today, we're going to dive into exactly that. Get ready to explore the resilient world of these insects and find out what would happen to the human body if we adopted the cockroach menu. Could the human metabolism handle it? Or would our stomachs completely give up? Throughout this hypothetical experiment, we'll learn more about the incredible abilities of cockroaches and test the limits of our own curiosity. And, let's be honest, our tolerance. Spoiler alert, the cockroaches are definitely winning this one. Ready to get started? Cockroaches are true champions of survival, capable of eating almost anything that has nutrients. But what exactly is on their menu? Well, pretty much everything. Fermented fruit, food scraps, paper, glue, even other insects. Nothing is off limits. They manage this because they have biological tricks that are nothing short of fascinating. For example, cockroaches have special enzymes that break down cellulose, allowing them to eat paper and plants. On top of that, they host symbiotic bacteria in their intestines that help turn decayed materials into energy. This partnership is the secret to their ability to thrive in hostile environments where most other organisms would fail. In nature, cockroaches aren't just survivors, they're essential recyclers. By consuming leftovers that no one else wants, they help maintain environmental balance. But what if a human tried to live on this menu? The problem is that our metabolism isn't nearly as flexible. While cockroaches can turn almost anything into fuel, our bodies require more specific and balanced nutrients. So, what would it be like to follow this extreme diet for 7 days? Let's find out as we kick off the challenge. Now that we know what cockroaches eat, let's imagine what it would be like to live on their diet for 7 days. We'll break it down day by day, starting with foods that are somewhat tolerable and moving to those that would challenge any human stomach. Along the way, we'll explore how this diet works for cockroaches and how it might affect a human. Day 1. Fermented fruits. The first day is relatively easy. Overripe or fermented fruits are on the menu. Cockroaches love the sugar in these fruits because it's an easy-to-digest, quick source of energy. For humans, this might sound okay at first, but the taste and smell of fermented fruits would already be a test for the stomach, not to mention the risk of heartburn or digestive discomfort. Day 2. Starch and paper. On the second day, we start stepping out of our comfort zone. Cockroaches can digest paper because they have enzymes that break down cellulose. Humans, however, don't have this ability, so we'd have to substitute paper with something more digestible, like stale bread or dry crackers. It's the human equivalent of eating something almost flavorless and completely lacking in nutrients. By this point, the monotony of the diet would start to weigh on you. Day 3. Vegetable peels and stalks. On the third day, we dive into the world of vegetable scraps, carrot peels, broccoli stalks, and other parts we'd normally throw away. For cockroaches, this would be a fiber-packed feast. For humans, it might be functional, but far from a complete meal. By now, the lack of calories and protein would start affecting your energy levels. Day 4. Edible insects. Now things start to get really interesting. On the fourth day, crickets, larvae, or other edible insects make their way onto the menu. Insects are an excellent source of protein and are already eaten in many cultures around the world. However, for most humans, the psychological discomfort would outweigh the physical challenge. What's normal for cockroaches feels like a major taboo for us. Day 5. Leftovers and scraps. By the 5th day, the diet starts to mimic the opportunistic behavior of cockroaches, a mix of leftovers from previous days. For humans, this would feel like eating a salad made of old, flavorless foods with very little nutritional value. At this point, the combination of monotony and lack of nutrients would really begin to take its toll. Day 6. Animal protein from dead sources. Day 6 takes things to an even more extreme level. Cockroaches in the wild feed on decomposing animal carcasses. For humans, this would be replaced with something safer, like beef jerky or processed meat. Even so, the idea of eating something resembling decayed meat is hard to stomach, both literally and psychologically. This might be the day many would quit, while cockroaches would simply keep going, unfazed. Day 7. Decomposing food. Finally, on the 7th day, we reach the peak of this extreme diet. Cockroaches consume decomposing food thanks to the protective bacteria in their guts. For humans, this would translate to consuming safe fermented foods, like kimchi or sauerkraut. Still, the experience would be a brutal reminder that our bodies are simply not designed for this kind of diet. Throughout these 7 days, the challenge would not only be physical, but also psychological. The human mind would have to grapple with feelings of disgust, while the body struggles with a lack of nutrients and energy. But what would happen after a whole week of eating like a cockroach? Let's find out next. After a week on a cockroach-inspired diet, the human body would start to show clear signs that something isn't right. Let's start with nutrients. While cockroaches can survive on almost anything, we humans need a balanced diet to keep our bodies running smoothly. First, the lack of essential nutrients like high-quality proteins, healthy fats, and vitamins would put the body on high alert. Extreme fatigue, muscle weakness, and even dizziness would be among the most common symptoms. Energy levels would drop quickly, and the body would begin to use its fat and muscle reserves just to keep going. Now, let's talk about fermented or decomposed foods. While our digestive systems are fairly resilient, they're not built to handle decayed matter the way cockroach systems are. Eating these kinds of foods could overwhelm the stomach and intestines, leading to stomach aches, bloating, and in more severe cases, food poisoning. Even safe fermented foods like kimchi, if consumed in excess, can be hard to digest for those not used to them. And what about the psychological impact? Eating foods we usually associate with trash or dirt would be as much of a mental challenge as a physical one. The disgust, combined with the monotony of the diet, could cause a loss of appetite and even lead to aversions to certain foods in the future. Meanwhile, cockroaches would just keep going, effortlessly turning almost anything into energy. These creatures have incredible biological adaptations, like specialized enzymes and symbiotic bacteria, that allow them to digest even the toughest, most degraded materials. In the end, it's clear, the human body was not designed to live like a cockroach. This experiment is a fascinating reminder of how these creatures are true masters of adaptation, and how very different we are from them. But what can we learn from all this? Let's reflect on that in the next section. After imagining what it would be like to live like a cockroach for 7 days, it's clear that these creatures are much more than just unwelcome visitors in our homes. They are true wonders of adaptation, capable of surviving where almost no other living being could. Cockroaches don't just survive on scraps and materials that other organisms would find useless. They play an essential role in maintaining environmental balance. By recycling organic matter, they help prevent the planet from being overrun by waste and debris. Without these small recyclers, ecosystems would be far less efficient. While the human body proved it simply isn't built for this extreme diet, the example set by cockroaches teaches us something valuable. They remind us of the importance of resilience and adaptability. They also make us think about how we can be more mindful of our own resources, making better use of what we have and contributing to a more sustainable world. And finally, as repulsive as they might seem to many, cockroaches are a reminder that every living creature has its role. So, the next time you cross paths with a cockroach, try to see it as more than just a pest. See it as a tiny engineer of nature, surviving in conditions none of us ever could. Now, it's your turn. Which part of this menu would you find impossible to stomach? Fermented fruits? Paper? Insects? Let me know in the comments, because I'd love to hear your thoughts. And of course, Don't forget to share this video with a friend who either loves or hates cockroaches. Let's spread some curiosity and learn together. And now that you've made it this far and survived this journey through the cockroach menu, it's your turn to join in. Which of these foods do you think would be the hardest to try? Fermented fruits, crunchy insects, or maybe decomposing food? Leave your answer in the comments. I really want to know how far you'd go in this challenge. And don't forget to share this video with that friend who's always complaining about their food. Maybe they'll realize their menu isn't so bad after all, right? Oh, and if you enjoyed exploring the fascinating and unexpected world of cockroaches with me, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. That way, you won't miss any of the upcoming content, where science and curiosity meet with a touch of fun. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure into the cockroach universe. Or better yet, our universe too. See you then.